Welcome back, everybody, to the channel soon to be formally known as Package Rebellion, if and when I ever get around to changing the name and making that official. I am still your host, Barry Lumbersquatch, and this, for the first time in 2 videos, is not Anthrax related. Today we're going to talk about the resurgence of cassettes, and if you haven't been paying attention lately, yes, cassettes are now a thing again. Not just a thing, but a big thing. They are moving up in sales by the tons. Is that even a unit of measure? I don't know. For instance, in 2019, Discogs, I'm going by Discogs because for whatever reason, you look up cassette sales and it only shows like UK numbers, but at least my search does. Maybe I have a UK browser. I don't know. But 2019 Discog sales. Is this sales? Let me make sure I'm... yeah, this is sales. So 2019, 2,112... Yeah, 212,103. I'm glad I paid attention to math class. As compared to 2020, the year of the pandemic, 282,798 for an increase of 33.3%. No, that's not math. I did in my head. It's right there on the graphic. I know, and you know, it was my personal opinion before I started reading any of this shit. Vinyl during the pandemic, the cost went up even more so. I mean, LPs that were being sold for $18 started to go for $20, $23, $25, $30. And that's just for one, you know, that's not with the gatefold or with a double LP. Whereas cassettes, you know, you're buying a cassette full of the songs, $8, $10. You get special editions. Even, I think the most I ever paid for a special edition might have been $15. So you're still getting the music, and you're getting it in a different format, but you're still, you know, supporting the artist. Because, look, we all know, and you've seen other artists complain about it, that streaming, they don't get a lot from. Spotify pays an average of about 1/3 to 1/2 of a penny per stream. Now, that's not counting like the bigger artists, but your favorite metal band, obviously not Metallica. I'm not saying Metallica's not your favorite metal band, but somebody you're listening to now, yeah, they might have 100,000 streams, but I'm not the math whiz. They're not getting a lot from that. Whereas if you buy physical from the band or from the label, they're at least getting more. And especially if you get it on Bandcamp, you're getting the physical and you're getting the digital too, which is key to me because I do a lot of driving. And I have a 2018, you ready for this? I'm going to show my age. I have a 2018 Buick, and yes, I said Buick. What the hell is it? It's a Regal Tourex. It's a special edition station wagon. It's a station wagon. Oh my God, am I showing my age? I'm driving a station wagon that's a Buick. Oh boy. Anyway, it doesn't have a CD player. It doesn't have a cassette player. But I can stream from my phone. So that's key to me. So like if I buy physical, I want the digital. I will never buy just digital. Mainly because, and I shouldn't say everyone does this, because I don't think Bandcamp you do this, but you don't own the rights to that music. So if you bought your music through Apple and for whatever reason you lose your Apple account, I'm pretty sure you've lost all those songs that you bought and downloaded. What's it, the digital rights media? Like, I remember Amazon did it to me a while ago. What did I buy? It was like an Anthrax record digitally. Oh my God, here comes Anthrax again. I can't get away from them. Or they can't get away from me. And I wasn't able, I had a Zune, because I didn't like Apple. I still don't like Apple. So yes, I had a Microsoft Zune. And I just remember I had used the album on too many devices or something. It wouldn't let me put it on the Zune. I was like, but I bought it. It's mine. But it wasn't mine because I didn't own it. It's like when you buy a digital movie, you don't own it. You're just kind of renting it long term. And that sucks, and I hate that. And I love the feel of physical, too. Like a record, the artwork, and everything included in it. The same with cassettes. So, digital alone doesn't do it for me. And I'm not a fan of CDs. Yes, I was when they first came out. I remember being in high school. I was like the first kid who had a portable Walkman. It wasn't a Sony Walkman. We all call them Walkmans because that's like a generic name. But it was a portable disc player, and that bitch was heavy. It was heavy, and it was metal. And people would love to listen to it. Like I always had And Justice for All in there. And the sound was amazing at the time, but now that I go back, when I think about it, it's like, wow, it was really tinny. Very high. I mean, it was almost like they mastered those first, I won't say few albums, but, when CD craze came about, they mastered them so at the highs, they were just so tinny and they lacked any depth or bass or mids. It was just like, look at how clear it sounds. And it just sounded so weird. Now that I think about it. Then it didn't. Now, yes. And they figured that out. I think after a few years, it kind of tried to make it seem more warm. I don't want to say analog because they didn't try to emulate the analog sound. They just tried to make it seem warmer. That's the way I'll look at it. But everything. I mean, vinyl, CDs went up as well, which I don't get. Again, like I said, I'm not a CD guy. Vinyl, 2020 versus 2019. In 2019, there were 8,498,892 sales on Discogs. Compared to 2020, 11,961,998. Like, it's insane. People love their physical media. And again, that's just Discogs. That doesn't account for the Amazon sales, the independent store sales, the Bandcamp sales. I mean, remember, Bandcamp Friday was huge for a while during the pandemic because that was a day you could, and I did my own videos on them, toot my own horn there, where you could buy on Bandcamp and all the proceeds went directly to the artist and to the label, which is huge. So, yeah, I mean, just buy the physical and get the digital. You get the best of both worlds. I mean, I get that some people don't have the room to keep it. So, yeah, that makes sense. But, I don't know. For me, and I know, obviously, millions, I just heard The Rock in my head, and the millions of music fans out there, we love the physical media. Whether you play it or not, you have it. It's there. Some collect it and listen to it. Some just listen to it. They don't care. But it's out there. And during the pandemic, cassettes saw the biggest resurgence. So what I want to do is I'm going to show you like 5 different cassettes, because when you think of cassette, you just think of the shell and the J card and the cassette. And they've progressed so much more than that, at least even the past year. You used to get the occasional cassette with a slipcase, and you can still get that, but the packaging in the cassettes has become so much more of an experience than it used to be. I think they're trying to make up for, albums. With a vinyl album, you can have a gatefold, you can have larger artwork, you can have more inserts. Whereas a cassette, they're not the biggest, but they've worked around it, and we're going to show you some of them. So, first up, we're going to start off with this gem. I'm trying not to get a reflection. That is Grima, Rotten Garden, their newest release on Nattermac Records. Nattermac? And it's basically, it's a black cassette, right? With like gray letters. Clear shell, nothing special. And a very, very simple J card, which is still very cool. This one was limited to 100. So they're making them, and they're making them desirable by making them limited as well. They're using all that brain power. All right, let me click over here. Next up is black metal artist from, are you from Russia? I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Olhava. So this comes in a slipcase, right? And it's just super cool. There's artwork on the back. It's very clean. I love the colors they use for this. Although I will say, I saw Old Hava released a shirt with this artwork on it, and I did not like that shirt. It just looked so weird. Now this cassette is like baby blue with gray lettering. Still super cool. I'm trying to reduce the glare. Is that like a mask? Oh, hey. And there goes my dog barking. Dog doesn't bark at all during the day, except when I decide to do that. So now, open up more artwork and an expanded J card. So it's got a little bit more information in there. And of course, you know, it's, especially for somebody my age who drives a Buick station wagon, I'm going to put a picture of the Buick station wagon in here just so you see how cool it is. Not mine, but, you know, one of them. Us older folks, and I just dropped the sleeve. Boy, I drop a lot of shit, don't I? You know, that small print is hard to read. So now we're going to move up. I'm going to pull out my little thing here. See, I have everything on this computer. It has all my notes. It's pretty cool. Imperial Triumphant. This one is big. This is awesome. This was released by Total Dissonant Worship, and it was strictly a cassette release for them. So if you bought this on cassette from Total Dissonance Worship, you didn't get the digital, but I don't care. I didn't care because I already had it. So this is a limited to 100. Just also the Old Lava was limited to 100. The only confusion there was they put out a baby blue and a white one. So are they both limited to 100, or was it split 50-50? Discogs doesn't tell me that. So this is limited. This is limited and numbered. I think the Old Hava was too, but we're not worried about numbers. But this one, it says it clearly on the back. What does it say? Like, I can't read. 47 of 100. So now this one is super cool. Like, we're getting cooler as we go up. So again, slipcase, cassette. I'm trying to make everything level. Hey, look at me. We're Imperial Triumphant. How you guys doing? So, nothing entirely, you know, super special about the cassette itself. It's clear with gold lettering. But it came with a bunch of extras. It came with this, I want to call it a business card. It's embossed. I think I have it upside down. I do. Come on, light, show me. Oh, you can see the Total Dissonant Worship logo. And the same on the back. Super cool. So then we get a sticker. Awesome. Then we get another sticker. Super awesome. But wait, there's more. Who was the guy who said that? Oh, he used to be on Late Night. Clear shell. Nothing special there. You open it up, J card, right? Super cool. Now we have an expanded view. But let's turn it around. That's like crowd noise. I pretend I have a crowd. Boom! Look at that. It's autographed by the band members on the inside of the J card. That is awesome. Super duper awesome. As far as I'm concerned, that is... So, I mean, this is like a cool package for a collector and for the music lover. I mean, it's compact. So if you want physical media and don't have the room for vinyl records, is that redundant, vinyl records? You can get this. You can get it autographed. You get extras. It's like a no-brainer when you look at it that way. I'm going to get a sip of water here. Hold on. That's some mighty fine H2O. Next up, we've got some super heavy-duty caveman riffs. And if you don't think of Sanguisugabog when you think of caveman riffs, well, there's something wrong with you. So they released their album Tortured Whole via Century Media. And people were like, well, there's no cassette. And they're like, dude, hold your horses. And sure enough, what was it? This came out last month? I don't remember. Let's go over to the Sanguisugabog tab. It doesn't say. This is limited edition. I don't know how many were made, but it's definitely a limited edition. And it's like if you remember, if you're as old as I am, the way VCR, cassettes used to come. They used to come in like a box. Obviously it was bigger, but same idea. So you have this, right? And the back. Right? Cool. I'm trying not to get the glare. Sorry. Yeah, hey, look, band members. But it opens. Oh, like this. Right? Cool. So inside, you have the cassette. This is released by Days, right? Just Days. I don't know if they're Days Records or not. Okay, so you have it. Opens up. It holds a cassette in there. Just realized my hair. And it comes with this nice little booklet, which is super cool as well. Lyrics are, again, too small for me to read, but are you really singing along to Sanguisuga Bog songs? And here, our cassette is kind of like a clear smoke with is that blue or is that gray? It's bluish gray lettering. Still, super awesome. And so genius. It's amazing. Like, it's just a great way to market the band, market the music, make a collectible that's small enough that anybody can have it. Wow, that's using your noodle. That's the way I look at it. And then the last one we're going to look at, this would be like when you get vinyl, you get a box set. Who's really good at box sets is Transcending Obscurity Records. They put together amazing box sets, like custom shit with, like, I think wooden boxes. They just go all out. Oh, I should have. What's the other one I should have looked at? That one wasn't a box set. Never mind. But this is like a cassette version of a box set. And I'm not saying it contains more than one cassette, but it contains a whole hell of a lot. And it's Vials of Wrath, Days Without Names, right? It was from 2017. And it's super cool. So it is basically like a box, right? So there's your cover. And when you open it, you just got a bunch of cool stuff in here. Like, this would have been cool for me if this was like back in the 80s, like early 90s. 4x4 patch, right? Am I holding it right now? I know I'm not. Okay. Boom. Super cool. Super cool item number one. Let me take this out right now. Of course, everybody loves it when they get a sticker. Stickers are awesome. This isn't for me, but what's that? Like an incense thing? Incense cone. That's what they call it. Incense cone. Ooh, it does smell good, though. Okay. I don't burn incense. Pin. And this is one heavy ass pin. It's beautiful. Look at that. That is beautiful. More. Come on out, come on out. A signed photograph of your boy, DC Mills. You can't see it. Like, I don't know, where the hell's my camera? It's signed right underneath him. But that, I mean, awesome, right? And the cassette itself, so clear shell, J panel. This is like, it's like a super J panel because it opens up. I don't know. Lyrics inside, and the cassette itself is like a clear red. That's just awesome. I mean, it's just a super awesome package to put together for a fan and a collector as well, because you're getting like so many cool things. And you're getting, people love autographs, like to collect autographs. People like pins. They like patches. They like boxes. I like boxes. I'll put this away. So those are like 5 different types. At least I think I did 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I did 5. I can count. I really can't count. Of ways that cassettes are being marketed. I think they're being made like this, marketed more towards the vinyl collector community, and those who just want to feel like they're getting a little bit extra. And I don't think for the Sanguisugabog and the Vials of Wrath, which are obviously the two more deluxe versions, at the most $15 I think I paid for one. I don't even remember, but it's what you're getting and the thought and everything that goes into them, like the Imperial Triumphant, even the Grima. It's limited to 100, but it's like, it's black. It's just a collector's item. And I went out. I'm turning around looking at it because that really makes sense to you if you're watching this. I had a double deck cassette player, and got it from my neighbor. It worked for like a week. I had to trash it and just stop working. He gave it to me, so I didn't spend any money. Then I found one on Facebook, of all places, for sale for $10, and it's a JVC. And once I clean the heads, it's amazing how good cassettes sound. And you think back and you're like, wow, I don't really remember them sounding this good back in the day, in the 80s and the 90s. I remember a lot of hiss, but of course, everybody knows cassette players were notorious for eating your tapes. It happened all the time. But yeah, with a decent dual deck and an amp and some really good speakers, like I've got, what are these, Iowa towers? It's really amazing how good they actually sound, these cassettes. Now, I don't know if they're mastering them differently than they did 20, 30 years ago, but it sounds great. So I highly recommend cassettes to anybody who wants to collect but can't have the room for your vinyl collection. I'm looking over some of my vinyl collection, and I'm like, oh yeah, you can see that over there. You can get a Walkman. You can get a small boombox. They make retro boomboxes now that you can play with the cassette, and it's just awesome what's happening in the music world in the terms of physical media. So I'm going to leave it on that because I know I ramble on and kind of talk over myself and go back and forth. So are you a cassette collector? Do you have any cassettes that you value more than others? What are your thoughts on cassettes and physical media in general? Leave a comment below. I'll link to all the bands. I think all of these editions are sold out everywhere. But please, check out Bandcamp. You can filter by cassettes and see what's out there. It's really amazing. I've bought more cassettes in the past, I'd say 6 to 10 months than I have anything else. One, because, and another thing with the vinyl is you're waiting and waiting now because it's in such demand, whereas it seems like cassettes, they're like, we're going to put out a cassette. It comes out the next day. But drop a comment below, leave a like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your favorite pets. Thank you for watching, and thank you for all the support on the Anthrax videos. And I'm sure I'll be back sooner than later. I know I've said that before and then disappeared for 8 or 9 months, but I'm doing pretty good now. Pretty good. So I'll catch you next time.